assistants. He just went to the east, picked a certain Silvanus Okpala, went to the north, picked Daniel Amokachi, and came to the southwest to pick Ikesho Rumu. That is ethnic balancing as far as I'm concerned. In the name
Are you saying they're not going to bring anything to the table?
I have my fears because, see, when Sebastian Broderick won the Under-17 World Cup for us, 9 of those that started that game were from Edo State. I would not give a damn. The important thing is that it is Nigeria playing, and he picked those players on merit. So if everybody from Yenagoa, for instance, if they are good enough to play for this country, we shouldn't have this ethnic balancing thing. If the best players are from Sokoto, for Christ's sake, let them go there and do Nigeria proud. But in this case now, Keshi has come, and you now go to the different geopolitical zones to go and pick your assistants.
Isn't it doing it from lessons or experience? Because remember, he's been captain of the team, he's coached across so many countries, and so back here, he's also coached some other teams in Nigeria, but not the Super Eagles. So isn't he doing it because he's been there and he knows that, listen, this is needful now?
Well, I wish him the best, because at the end of the day, he carries the can. He will not come. The same Sanse Siasia is not crying wolf when...
I think he's withdrawn that.
No, just last week, he said he was sabotaged by the technical committee, and we never had that before.
Oh dear.
So why didn't he say that the technical committee was interfering in his job? Ab initio. He never told Nigerians that.
Have we had any coach who has spoken apart from Westerhoff?
So now Stephen Keshi has come. He has been given an opportunity to pick his assistant, and as far as I'm concerned, he has picked them on merit. Let him not come tomorrow to tell us that somebody told him to ensure there was some level of balancing. Because if he fails tomorrow and he begins to say that, it will be medicine after death. But the same way Ukeri Auchi, for instance, is now crying that she had no contract. Did she tell Nigerians before that she had no contract? But why is it that when you were sacked, after being sacked, that is when you now tell Nigerians that you had no contract?
What do we know about the terms and conditions of Keshi's contract?
Well, he has been given a ton on that.
To qualify us for which one now?
To qualify us for the Nations Cup, okay. To make sure that we'll get to the quarterfinals of the World Cup and all that. But you begin to ask yourself, with which players? Is it with these same players that cannot beat Botswana that you want to go and get to the quarterfinals of the World Cup? Is it with players that are playing in Kazakhstan and Cambodia? No Nigerian player apart from Mikel is playing for a top club in Europe.
Oh dear.
So is it the same set of players that you want to go and get to the quarterfinals of the World Cup?
There's
a lot of challenge for
the same football fans who, if they don't see certain names that they've developed that affinity to, won't they cry out also say, oh, wait a minute, especially if they don't get the desired result at the initial stage, but making it more difficult for the coach.
The coach must stamp his authority. Time was when, after losing 5-1, people called for the head of Westerhoff. But the same man, after the first game, took the team to the final of the competition. You have to stamp your feet. As a coach, you must go for what you want. You don't listen to the sentiment of the fans. And this was part of the problem that Siasia had. That he wanted to place Osaze Odewige so that people would not say, why didn't you start Osaze? You, as a coach, you don't need to play to the gallery. And at the end of the day, it was the same Osaze that you wanted to please fans that threw away so many of the chances that would have taken us to the Nations Cup. So you don't listen to the fans. You are in charge and you must take firm control. If you know what you need to do to get you result, you go for it. Because if you begin to play to the gallery, then why are you the manager? Why are we paying you 5 million? Are we going to pay you 5 million for you to listen to fans, for fans to do your job for you? No.
But we heard also, I mean, we see a lot of people tweeting about the fact that they said they've told us before that Nigeria's football will not go anywhere unless they address fundamental problems, restructure administration so you can move the country forward. But if you keep going about it in this haphazard way, we'll just be going around in circles. Exactly,
and that is why I do not envy Keshi, because you have come to take a job and you know that there are the challenges facing Nigerian football does not start and end with coaching. Like I said before, Samson Siasia failed, but he was not alone in that failure. He was only used as a sacrificial lamb.
Now he's talked about the technical committee.
Technical committee and all that. So there are so many challenges facing Nigerian football. And until we address these challenges, if you bring a Moriho here, he may fail.
But tell us about this committee. Was there a committee in the first place? I've heard some coaches say, listen, did we even have a technical committee because all we had was so-called?
so-called, see, beyond what the technical committee is even doing now is what the technical department of the federation, if we had a functional technical department, the technical committee, these committees in NFF are not supposed to be committees that should be running on a day-to-day basis. Even the board of the Nigerian Football Federation, they are not supposed to be meeting every now and then. By the act establishing them, the board of the Nigerian Football Federation is not supposed to meet for more than 3 times in a year. But this is a board that keeps meeting every time and then as if they don't have any other job. Truth be told, why this is, it is like this because the glass house is not functioning well. For Christ's sake, there is even this Assistant Secretary General in charge of technical. What is supposed to be his job? So these committees, these different committees have taken over what is supposed to be the job of the technical department in the glass house.
But the way we pick the friendlies, I mean,
so
how do we pick this?
That is what I'm saying now, that there are so many things